In 1962, the Supreme Court voted that it's unconstitutional to allow our children to pray in public schools. Just this week, Florida Governor, former Lieutenant Commander, United States Navy, Iraq war veteran, and Roman Catholic, Ron DeSantis, said no, we will not deny our children the right to pray in school. And he mandated that every public school in the great state of Florida must allow for a moment of silence. So children are allowed to pray, or if they're atheists, they can just take a minute to think and relax. But we will not deny our right to freedom of religion in the great state of Florida. If you live in a Democrat state and you're jealous of this great state of Florida, I'm inviting you to go to relocatingforlife.org and ask them to hook you up with a realtor in Florida that can help you make this move. We can also help you with pro-life lawyers. If you have any real estate things that are complicated, you need a real estate lawyer. If you need a mover, we'll hook you up with a pro-life mover. But you need to go to relocatingforlife.org because Florida is getting better and better. This country was founded, according to Patrick Henry, according to the man who said, "Give me liberty or give me death." According to him, the United States of America was founded on the gospel of Jesus Christ. 52 of the 55 men who wrote the Constitution were active members in their church. Thomas Jefferson said the Bible is the cornerstone of our liberty. And Thomas Jefferson, he's the guy the liberals like to quote about separation of church and state. But just like our Marxist media doesn't ever give you the full context of what's being said, Thomas Jefferson said there's a wall that separates the church and the state to protect the church from the state. Not the state, from the church. In fact, that same Congress who wrote the Constitution, seeing there was a shortage of Bibles in the United States, and their first act in Congress, the first act was to sign a bill to produce like 1 million Bibles. I might have that number wrong, and maybe more, maybe less. But the first money this country spent was to produce Bibles. So obviously the original intent wasn't to ban Bibles from the public schools, because Thomas Jefferson encouraged reading the Bible and prayer in the public schools. And that's why for 200 years, that was a tradition in public schools. And for those 200 years, test scores were always, right about here. They stayed steady and they were good. And then 1962, test scores just continually dropped. Till now we lag behind most of the modern world. Crime and, discipline was always about the same. Up until 1960, the biggest complaints about discipline school teachers had was chewing gum in school. From 62 to now, teenage pregnancy went up, rape went up, murder went up, kids bringing guns to school. You see, when our founding fathers wrote the Constitution, they cited 27 biblical violations. This country was founded on the gospel of Jesus Christ, according to Patrick Henry and according to historical documents. So when they took the rights away from children to read their Bible in school and to pray in school, they took away the very existence of why this country is here. So I am so thankful for our rock star governor, Ron DeSantis, and I'm going to nominate him for the 2024 presidential primary. He's got my back. So again, if you're tired of living in these communist-run states, Florida did everything right. Even liberal Democrat Bill Maher had to admit that Ron DeSantis was one of the few governors that followed the science during this pandemic. And Ron DeSantis, state of Florida, is number 2 in this recovery because we never fully shut down. Number 1 is another Republican state, South Dakota. I think number 3 is Texas. The worst state's economy right now. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. They're a Democrat run. New York, California, New Jersey. So if you live in any of those states, I invite you to come to the great state of Florida, but don't vote like those people in those states vote. We got to keep this state free. I mean, we have religious freedom. We have freedom of speech. Ron DeSantis just told these tech giants, if you censor free speech, you're going to get in trouble in my state. We don't censor free speech in the great state of Florida. Told these school teachers, you got to allow your children to pray. You don't have to force them, but you got to give them that right to pray. So we have the freedom of religion. We have the right to bear arms. You know, honestly, I'm not a big gun guy. I grew up in inner city in Jersey, like, you know, hunting and fishing, like wasn't my thing. But a lot of my friends here in Florida, you know, I feel safe. I walk in Walmart. I'm in Walmart one day, and we hear a scuffle in the next aisle, and I see my friend lift up his shirt, and he's got his gun because it's so easy to get a carry permit here. And then we realized they were just joking, and he put it back down. But you know, this is the great state of Florida. You know, so please. If you believe in freedom, and I think, like you've seen with Bill Maher and even Jon Stewart, if you've seen his little bit with Stephen Colbert, these people, and even a lot of these liberal comedians I'm seeing, they're starting to realize that the party they support is infringing on a lot of their freedoms. So I think we're going to see like 2 sets of people. It's not going to be liberal and conservative. It's going to be people that are for freedom and people that are against freedom. And I think freedom always wins. Freedom's going to win. But until freedom wins in your state, you can come to my state, the great state of Florida. As long as you vote Republican, go to realestateforlife.org and tell them Blue Collar Catholic sent you. God bless and stay Catholic.